Welcome back to Film Snob HQ. We're still on the road to Avengers Doomsday, and as I keep teasing, we're getting closer and closer to the end of Era 2 of Marvel movies. We're at the end of Phase 1. There are 3 movies left: Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, which we're going to talk about in the next video, and of course, The Avengers, the first official Disney Marvel project. But before we get to that, we need to talk about a very important film in the franchise, Captain America, the First Avenger. The lowest rated in the trilogy and one of the lower rated Marvel films. It's got an IMDb score of 6.9, and that is completely unjustified. This is an incredible movie. I love this movie so much. I remember seeing it in theaters, being blown away, thinking that Captain America was kind of a silly character. I'd never seen a Captain America movie before. I'd never read a Captain America comic book. The name had put me off in the past. And this flick's incredible. Joe Johnston, director of The Rocketeer, did this one. We've got Chris Evans, of course, as Captain America, Haley Atwell as Peggy Carter, Hugo Weaving as the Red Skull, Tommy Lee Jones, Sebastian Stan as Bucky. What a great origin story. And one thing you'll notice, I noticed this the last time I watched all these films, the parallels between Cap and Iron Man are evident from Phase 1. Their origins are so tightly linked. Both of them in a situation where they feel powerless, helped by an elderly mentor who gives them the ability to become something more. It was Yinsen in Iron Man, and in this one it's Dr. Erskine, played by the great Stanley Tucci. It's set against the backdrop of the 1940s in the middle of World War II, and Johann Schmidt, aka the Red Skull, works for Hitler, and he's looking into science and magic, trying to find something more powerful. And he's the head of a place called Hydra, which you will have heard of quite a bit. It's incredible. It's so sweet-natured. It's so beautiful. Like, it is absolutely a war film, but it has that superhero angle. There's so much just heart into this movie. Steve Rogers is such a pure, lovely human being, back to when he's a scrawny guy, all the way up to being the super soldier that we've come to know and love. The action is incredible. The performances are wonderful. There's some great music in it. The whole Star Spangled Man montage is one of my favorite things ever put to cinema. I think it's incredible. We get our first glimpse at an Infinity Stone because the Tesseract shows up in this film. It's not called the Tesseract, if I remember correctly. But there is a brief moment towards the end where we see it open up a portal into space and Red Skull gets sucked into it. Spoiler alert, he goes to Vormir. We'll find out about that in a few videos' time. And it's just a great origin story. Obviously, everyone is firing on all cylinders. My favorite performance in this film, and there's a million great performances in this film, is Tommy Lee Jones. He's just got some real sass in this film. He has 2 of the greatest lines in any Marvel film. The first one being, well, if it isn't the Star-Spangled Man with a plan, what is your plan today? Delivered only in a way Tommy Lee Jones can do. And then in the third act, as Steve Rogers is racing towards the plane to stop Hydra and Red Skull, he gives Haley Atwell a long-awaited, big old Hollywood cinematic kiss. He turns and looks at Tommy Lee Jones, and Tommy Lee Jones says, "I'm not going to kiss you," and it's very, very funny. This is incredible. Is it as good as Winter Soldier? No, but few movies are. Is it as good as Civil War? I would argue yes. Civil War is a wonderful film, but it relies heavily on its supporting cast. This, and all those superheroes, this is just a solid origin story, and I would say it goes toe-to-toe with Iron Man in terms of the best origin stories we've seen in the MCU. So, all that remains to ask is, who's showing up in Secret Wars? Who's showing up in Doomsday? We know Steve Rogers is back. He was in the trailer. It has been heavily hinted at that Captain Carter or Peggy Carter is going to show up. I don't think you can have Steve Rogers in there without Peggy Carter, so we're probably going to see both of them. We know Bucky is coming back as the Winter Soldier, or the White Wolf, whatever you want to call him. He's coming in as well. In terms of everyone else in this film, I think that's about it. I don't think we're going to see the Red Skull again. It'd be cool if we did, but he'd have to have a reason, unless he's part of Doom's team of ultra villains. That's it. Captain America, the First Avenger, incredible movie, so well made, highly slept on and underrated. If you haven't watched it, go and check it out. Next up is Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance. I'll see you then.